Prepare for a deep dive into the latest Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 ARG, where a new character emerges, a cryptic detective unravels secrets, and a newly discovered VHS tape reveals the shocking truth behind Catnap's horrifying transformation. The Chapter 5 ARG has finally arrived, packed with new teasers, a revealing VHS tape, and a completely new character. It's truly an insane amount of content to break down. Just last week, Mob Entertainment released an image, seemingly teasing the new ARG for Chapter 5, which hinted at potential secrets, but didn't reveal much explicitly. However, a few days later, an account named Seeing Reason mysteriously appeared on the Poppy Playtime Discord server. This account had no profile picture, had only joined Discord a few days prior, and, most notably, possessed the Playtime Co role, a specific role previously given only to the official Playtime Co account used for the Chapter 4 ARG. Suddenly, this account began interacting, asking questions like, "Whatever happened to the Playtime Co account?" And "Has anyone on here ever been able to talk to the Playtime Co account?" They persistently inquired about who managed the previous ARG account, claiming they were trying to establish contact before directly pinging it with, "Can you see this?" This action immediately signaled to fans that the mysterious account was ARG related. Users began asking questions such as, "What date is it for you?" The reply, January 20th, 2004, confirmed that this ARG and account are set after the Hour of Joy in 1995, but before the events of the game, which take place in 2005. When asked, "What is happening?" the account responded, "I'm as confused as you are." A user then reasonably asked, "Who are you?" receiving the reply, "Just call me Seeing Reason, your friendly neighborhood Gumshoe." Gumshoe indicates they are a detective, revealing that this is an anonymous user investigating Playtime Co. to uncover its secrets. When asked for more information about the prototype, the response was a terse, "Let's not talk about him." Inquiring about their location and goal, they stated, "All I want here is some answers. I hear a lot of stuff, not sure what to make of it all, but I need to know." After further questions about the Playtime Co account, they were asked if they had any other questions, to which they replied, "Like a million, but I don't think they could be answered right now. I need to do a bit more digging, and I'll come back. Might not be today. I have to hop off this thing before I get in trouble anyway." They then vanished for the rest of the day, leaving fans perplexed about their identity and purpose. A deeper look at the profile revealed they are female, based on the pronouns listed, and their bio contained the cryptic text, byeliner at TBP. "Thank me, dear, for paradise," which remains undeciphered. Overall, Seeing Reason was established as a nameless female detective cautiously investigating Playtime Co secrets. 24 hours later, they miraculously returned, and the ARG escalated dramatically. Their first message read, hey, so this is a shot in the dark since the Playtime account is kaput. I'm not the one that normally reaches out to you, but I bet you knew that already. I heard from a source of mine that you're good at putting broken things back together." This was followed by, "I've got good reason to believe there's something important in here, something we're not supposed to see somewhere," linking to a set of files they had found. The files were in a folder named Stuff I Found, and contained two main items, a zip file named Conditioning, and a completely blank file named Lullaby Room. The Conditioning file required a password to extract its contents. The Lullaby Room file was much more intriguing. It appeared blank and wouldn't open normally, because it lacked a file extension. A file extension is crucial for a computer to identify the file type, such as JPEG for an image or MP4 for a video. However, by manually editing the file and adding different extensions, various hidden files could be accessed within it: lullabyroom.pdf, lullabyroom.jpg, and, most intriguingly, lullabyroom.mpp4. First, the PDF revealed a rejected Playtime Co toy slip similar to those seen in Chapter 2's Rejected Toys room. This particular toy was heavily redacted, with only a Y or G visible, and its rejection reasons included poor focus testing, bad brand alignment, and Leth doesn't like them. The second page of the PDF offered more cryptic information. Note to self, look into related materials. Use for inspiration. Though the factory is now a corpse, their wrong side-out concept may prove useful. Add and dumb. Useful indeed. Each one an example made. Each one a malcontent punished. They will not be allowed back in. This slip cryptically alludes to the creation of the wrong side outimals, a trademark name leaked previously, suggesting they were inspired by the failure of this rejected toy. A popular theory connects these to the wide-mouthed creatures seen in trailers, which the prototype was experimenting on, potentially implying the prototype authored this note. Next, the lullabyroom.jpg file displayed what appeared to be a playground, presumably a location in Chapter 5, along with white lines of hidden text. Finally, lullabyroom.mpp4 presented one of the most ominous videos discovered to date. This distorted and disturbing video showed an excited girl and some Poppy Playtime characters, but also revealed several notable secrets. More hidden text was embedded within the video. Perhaps most interestingly, a blacked-out character in red, hugging Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy, was visible despite the video's distortion. The identity of this new character remains unknown, but they appear to be a bear or some furry creature. A developer who created the character has stated it is their favorite design yet, raising high expectations for its full reveal. With these teasers, we had various hidden codes and a password to solve, presumably contained within the hidden text. The next step was to decipher them. All 3 teasers contained cryptic sets of X's and Y's. 8 sets were found in the MP4 video, 4 more in the JPEG image's white text, and 2 additional sets in the PDF's hidden white text. Each teaser also contained a hidden number. The MP4 had a 1, the JPEG a 2, and the PDF a 3. These numbers indicated the correct order to combine all the cryptic text into one large string of letters. Given the length of the data sets and the use of only 2 types of letters, it was quickly deduced that this was a binary code, specifically encoded using the Baconian cipher. In this encryption method, a word is converted into a 5-digit binary alphabet, e-g.g, becomes 00111, which is then represented by 2 different letters, e.g, X for 0 and Y for 1. Reversing this process for the long string of letters yielded Flanders Fields. This phrase, Flanders Fields, is a direct reference to the renowned World War I poem by John McCrae, which symbolically describes poppy flowers growing over the graves of fallen soldiers, associating the poppy with remembrance. This holds significant meaning within Poppy Playtime, with the Poppy doll, Poppy gel, and other related elements. Conveniently, Flanders Fields, without spaces, was the password for the locked conditioning file. Unlocking the conditioning file revealed an image titled 12290, See Patient Intake 1118, presumably dated November 22, 1990, and related to Experiment 1188, Catnap. This image was an X-ray of Catnap's larger body, with his face redacted, but labeling specific body parts. For instance, one label pointed to what appeared to be a refillable gas storage canister, and another mentioned gas exchange. This confirmed Catnap's ability to emit red smoke, which was already known. Most other details were too blurry to read. However, the true significance of this image wasn't what was immediately visible, but what was hidden. By stretching, rotating, and applying various effects to the image, a set of letters and numbers appeared, a YouTube video ID. Pasting this ID into a YouTube URL led to an unlisted video from Mob Entertainment titled Restricted Conditioning 1990. After its discovery, Mob Entertainment made the video public. This video was incredibly revealing. It depicted scientists assessing and experimenting on Catnap. Initially, Catnap was notably violent, attacking through the glass when asked for his name or identity. Over time, through continued assessment and conditioning, he began to change. At first, he referred to himself as Theodore, referencing his child name, Theodore Granball. However, by the end of the conditioning, when asked his name, he simply stated, "The name is Catnap." The experiment was declared a success, concluding with an ambiguous clip of Catnap breaking out of the labs and attacking staff members. This VHS tape is crucial for understanding Catnap's backstory. What we witnessed was the aftermath of an outburst Catnap had on November 20th, where he escaped and attacked multiple staff members, killing some in the process. This incident was first mentioned in the Poppy Playtime Orientation Notebook, authored by P.W. Throughout the tape, the scientists were attempting to make Catnap forget his identity as the child they had taken away, likely the source of his anger, and instead recognize himself solely as Catnap, a goal they successfully achieved by the tape's end. However, the tape's most interesting aspect might not be Catnap himself, but the scientists conducting the experiments. A recurring male and female scientist conducted the conditioning, While the female scientist, Nan, seemed almost numb and emotionless about her actions towards Theo, the male scientist, Preston, appeared much more conflicted and guilty. Their dialogue revealed this tension. It feels weird seeing them like this. Like what? Like Frello? I don't know. I hardly recognize him. Preston. If I didn't know you, I'd say you sound like a new guy. Does it ever bother you? The way they act after? No, not really. The work's important. I know it's important, Nan, but you can't deny the cost as well. There is a cost. You just can't dwell on it. The trick is to stay focused. Besides, if Grace's treatment plan here works, 118 won't be feral for long. This dialogue confirms that a male scientist named Preston felt guilt over his treatment of the children. His voice and the initial P are highly significant. It seems evident that Preston is PW, the author of the orientation notebook who logged the factory's secrets and, conveniently, documented the initial reports of Catnap's outburst. The tape even flashes this very document at the beginning, and a glitching email later in the tape appears to mention his name, strongly suggesting the connection between PW and Preston. Furthermore, the voice actor for Preston sounds identical to the voice actor for PW in the orientation notebook trailer. This is a monumental revelation. But that's not all. Returning to the very beginning of the tape, numerous binary numbers appear within a few short frames. The sheer volume of this data was immense. Given that all numbers were in sets of 8, it was determined to be encoded in 8-bit ASCII. Using a conversion chart, each 8-digit data set was converted into a single number. Because every resulting number was 26 or lower, each could then be converted into a letter based on its position in the alphabet, 0 leng, 1b, etc. The resulting string of letters was then decoded using the @bash cipher, which replaces each letter with its opposite in the alphabet. E.G, Joti Ase, Risol. Finally, a coherent sentence emerged. How did we get here? Looking back on this now hurts even more than it did then. This is a profoundly cryptic message, reflecting on the factory's fallen state, perhaps from the perspective of an experiment or a guilty employee like PW. Several other mysteries within this tape remain unexplained. What is the significance of the box-like object? Why is there a 21 visible? A brief glitch shows Dog Day for a few frames. The exact timing of Catnap's final attack scene is also ambiguous. It could be footage from the November 20th incident that preceded the rest of the VHS tape. However, Catnap only gains his white glowing eyes after he refers to himself as Catnap at the end of the tape, which complicates the timeline. Why does he only gain these glowing eyes at that specific moment? Additionally, the female scientist mentions Grace's treatment plan, a detail never heard before, whose purpose is unknown. While these puzzles were being solved, the Seeing Reason Discord account continued to communicate. When asked about the Hour of Joy or the theater incident, they responded, "I don't know much about the hour, to be honest. I hear lots of rumors." Asked about Catnap, they said, "I know he likes to stay all the way up in play. Supposedly, he sends letters, but I've never seen them." This interestingly suggests that if Catnap is up in play, Seeing Reason is not only within the factory, but deep inside it, likely in the labs we will explore in Chapter 5. The mention of Catnap sending letters also sparks curiosity about his communication methods. When asked about Doey the Dough Man, the reply was, "I mean, I've heard of him, but then again, everyone has." And regarding Mommy Longlegs, they stated, "I don't think she likes to make the trip down here," or, "That's what I'm told, at least. I don't know." It sounds like a lie. This further confirms their deep location within the factory. After this, they thanked the community for their help in breaking down the files and expressed a wish to stay longer but couldn't, which concluded this phase of the ARG, at least for now. Many believe this might be the extent of the ARG, but it is highly likely that Seeing Reason will return with even more information for us to uncover.